In November 1703, a catastrophic storm swept across the southern coast of England. Among the dozens of vessels caught in its fury was HMS Northumberland, a powerful third-rate ship of the line. Belonging to the Royal Navy, she was anchored off the coast of Kent, in a region known as the Downs, a historically safe anchorage. But as the storm intensified, safety turned to peril. Northumberland had recently returned from the Battle of Vigo Bay, already damaged from combat. Her hull bore scars from cannon fire, her rigging strained and worn. The crew, suffering from food shortages and disease, was described in contemporary records as very sickly, with many already dead before the ship encountered the storm. On the night of November 26th, the winds shifted violently. Ships anchored in the Downs began to drag their anchors. Northumberland, likely weakened from previous engagements, could not hold. She drifted toward the treacherous Goodwin Sands, a notorious maritime graveyard. There, the ship succumbed to the storm. For over 3 centuries, the wreck lay buried and undisturbed beneath layers of silt and shifting sands. But recent maritime archaeological surveys have begun to uncover this lost giant of the sea, and what lies beneath is nothing short of extraordinary. The wreck site has revealed significant portions of the ship's hull, timber frames, and even well-preserved ropes and cables. In some areas, massive 32-pounder cannons remain standing, still pointing outward, as if awaiting a battle that never came. The ship's wooden structure, expected to have rotted away, has instead been preserved by the oxygen-deprived environment beneath the sand. This anaerobic preservation, the absence of oxygen, has created a time capsule. Items that normally decay in months or years have survived for centuries. Coiled ropes, anchor cables, muskets, cannonballs, and even wooden chests have emerged from the seabed, offering an unparalleled glimpse into the operational life of an 18th century warship. Archaeologists compare this site to the famed Mary Rose Henry V's warship in its state of preservation and significance. But while the Mary Rose sank during battle and was partially salvaged in the 20th century, HMS Northumberland represents a new chapter. She is a vessel from the transitional era between the Tudor Navy and the modern Georgian fleet, linking the past with the age of British maritime dominance. High-resolution scans of the wreck have allowed researchers to construct 3D models of the site, aiding divers and historians alike. These models provide spatial awareness on a wreck that lies scattered and largely submerged beneath uneven seabeds. For divers who encounter a mostly flat and featureless area, these visualizations are essential in understanding what they're observing and where to look next. In one remarkable discovery, a large chest was found buried within the wreck, encrusted with marine life. Its contents remain sealed within a shell of corrosion. Experts believe it could contain tools, musket balls, or other valuable artifacts that required stabilization in the ship's lower deck. Its position, low and forward in the ship, suggests it was part of the essential storage for the voyage. Nearby, fragments of spare rigging and anchor cable were uncovered. In naval tradition, such items were stored on the orlop deck, deep within the belly of the ship. Their presence further confirms that this section of the wreck remains intact, and the recovery of these artifacts offers direct insight into the logistical planning of early modern naval voyages. Despite the excitement, the wreck of HMS Northumberland faces a new threat. The same natural forces that once concealed it. As sands shift due to changing tides and currents, the protective layers are being peeled back. Where once there was preservation, now there is erosion. Marine organisms like shipworms, teredo, and gribbles are beginning to infiltrate the exposed wood. Once a surface is uncovered, it starts to decay rapidly. That's why archaeologists are racing against time to document, preserve, and eventually recover the most significant elements before they are lost forever. Each dive on the wreck reveals something new. sometimes minor, sometimes monumental. One recent expedition revealed shipwrights marks still visible on wooden planks, as though carved only days before. Such details are rare and offer a direct connection to the artisans who built the ship. The site, while still largely buried, stretches over 50 meters. What's been uncovered so far is believed to be just a fraction of the full wreck. The bow section, midship, and stern are all partially intact beneath the seabed, awaiting exploration. It is a vast puzzle of timber, iron, and rope, slowly coming into view. The cannons, among the most striking discoveries, include both large upper-deck guns and smaller pieces likely from the ship's fore. Some of these cannons participated in the Battle of Vigo Bay, a crucial naval engagement in which the Royal Navy struck a blow against the Spanish and French fleets. The presence of these weapons ties HMS Northumberland directly to Britain's rise as a maritime superpower. Yet perhaps the most haunting elements are not the weapons or the woodwork, but the human stories embedded within the wreck. The men aboard Northumberland were not just sailors, but victims of disease, hardship, and war. Their final hours, caught in one of the most violent storms in British history, are felt in the silence of the seabed. Among the historical sources documenting the storm is Daniel Defoe, who described how the wind was so powerful that men could not hear one another even when shouting inches apart. Breathing was difficult. Commands were lost to the gale. Chaos reigned on the decks as ships were dragged helplessly across the channel. In the wake of such a storm, it is no surprise that many ships were lost. But Northumberland, due to her size, her combat history, and the state of her preservation, holds a unique place among these tragedies. At present, the wreck remains protected under UK heritage law. Its exact coordinates are classified to prevent unauthorized diving or looting. Only licensed archaeological teams are allowed to access the site, and all material remains underwater for now. The ultimate goal, however, is more ambitious. If funding and permissions align, efforts may be made to recover selected parts of the wreck. Key artifacts, particularly those at risk, could be stabilized, conserved, and eventually displayed to the public. In doing so, HMS Northumberland could become a central exhibit in Britain's maritime history, alongside the Mary Rose and HMS Victory. For now, the sea guards its secrets, but each passing tide, each shifting grain of sand, reveals a little more of this remarkable ship. Her story, forged in war, Austin storm, and rediscovered through science, is a testament to the enduring legacy of the Royal Navy and the men who sailed beneath its flag. The wreck of HMS Northumberland stands as a silent witness to a bygone era, an age of sail, empire, and exploration, and a reminder of how history often sleeps just beneath the surface, waiting to be found.